couple of thoughts about the game itself. My name is Austerius. Welcome everyone if you're watching this perchance on YouTube. So my initial thoughts the moment I started playing the game were kind of bad. I didn't like it much. It was like 6.5 out of 10 on a 10 scale, right? There was so much of things to I was complaining about the game. How many times I was missing enemy because of my short range of weapon. I just wasn't able to hit enemies. Sometimes even directly staying right in front of them, right? But those kind of problems, was about my own ignorance. Since when you're looking close on the game, it's way more complex than it would look for me at the very beginning. It also felt clunky, you know, dodging felt clunky, it felt a little bit slower, normal mobs were just killing me here and there, doing so much of damage, because I didn't understand completely the block and parry mechanics and stuff. It definitely felt way less smooth playing at the beginning compared to Dark Souls 3, for example, compared to the Elder Rings. And a lot of people agree with me here that the game felt clunky. But all of this feeling of clunkiness, it just actually disappeared quite after the mid-game, when I still invest more, well, brain power in researching what I'm actually do, how actually better to fight my opponents, finding this proper timing to parrying the attack, to blocking, maybe dodging. Sometimes you can even move aside, and enemy gonna miss here. That there is a thing like that happening here. So more invested in my points, more invested in my arms, in techniques, in the P organ, which is like skill 3. The more complex the game became, and more I was able to play it better and better. And what I really enjoyed is the boss fights. There's a bunch of like unique, well, what is 20, 30 unique boss fights. There's main bosses which were giving me quite a bit of challenge, and I personally would like a challenge. I enjoyed every single one of the main bosses, except maybe first 3. Yeah, again, some saying I think it's 28 bosses. So except the first 3 bosses we had, which were like just some pushovers, basically a harder version of a normal enemy. Well, maybe not, but they weren't that cool. The boss, the key moment, you know, in a boss fight came with boss of fight of the Kings of the Puppet, and it took me so much time to figure it out, and this has definitely improved my gameplay, an opinion of the game further on. So currently I'm gonna give it around 8 point out of 10. It's actually 9 out of 10, because 1 point minus because how pricey it is, even in my regional pricing. But I'm playing it on the Game Pass, which is not actually pricey. If you're buying it on Steam on the other platform, this is minus 1 point for me. I'm quite particular about price. However, for that price you get a lot of replayability. The game has a bunch of things like the weapon system. The weapon system is so cool. We were complaining at the beginning of the game how the weapon have like only 2 moves, and they continuing. You can change, like basically take the better blade for a weapon, which is how we progress in the game. We found the next weapon, we saw, okay, this blade have better damage. Go disassemble it, get on my current handle, and oh, suddenly this weapon is quite have a shorter range, but the same moveset. That was the problem for me. What I didn't understand back there is that every handle in a weapon consists of handle and a blade, and handle, this is one that's responsible for your moveset. It also have the special abilities like Fable Arts, We were working with handles that have absolute defense, so I can parry every time to use for one blue bar, for one Fable Art. And we have a bunch of those weapons, which is leading to a bunch of different move sets. Every like handle require a different amount of stamina to use for attack, have different animation, different timing. So there's a bunch of like builds you can build just going around there. There's also skills tree, a whole skill tree you can gear up for different play styles, and you can get everything in the skill tree. You need to make a choices. I mean, fortunately, with new patch of that came just a couple of days ago, you can reset your build after like I think third boss or something. So if you mess it up, don't worry. After easy bosses, you will be able to reset the build, make it better, trying to improve on. Maybe take the different skills. The only problem I have is a game. The only problem is just not giving like 10 out of 10. It's still kind of feeling a little bit awkward in terms of the location. Location visually looking great, but they were so linear and so corridor-like. It's like back playing some games from early 2000s. Alright, so like they're staying all these crates over here. This undestructible, okay, these are very destructible objects, but those are down there. They are not destructible. Sometimes you see like wooden crates, you can do anything. They normal looking like normal destructible looking wooden crates, but you can destruct, kill it, destroy it. So there is not much of jumping to do in this game, despite it actually have a jump. There is no jump attack, right? There's no jump attack like in Dark Souls or Elden Rings. The system itself, the game system, it's kind of mixed between Souls system, between Bloodborne, and between Sekiro system. So you have a dodging mechanic, you have a parry mechanics. Perfect parry resulting in basically perfect blocking resulting in parry, and which you not taking a damage but make enemy stagger, filling his invisible bar close to the point when you can riposte him with strong attacks. Right? The game has strong attacks, by the way, which was a great boon for my strength build. And what else I don't like about game, how low on information the game is compared to like item description, skill description. The developers went and named everything with the unique names like mana, Fable Arts, stuff like fuel for your puppet arm, which is another way to fight the puppet arm over here. Fuel called like Legion. And the arm itself called in Legion arm or something, and with all those terms it's really confusing. It's I'm reading a bunch of skills and not really understanding what they're doing from the first read, and that's kind of one problem I have. Another problem, like I say, how corridor like, how constricting location are, and how linear gameplay is. But enjoyable nonetheless. It's have a decent story. It's have a proper story. Maybe too much of talking in the story. That's another problem. It was also all voice acted, and in my opinion, voice acted well to keep in those steampunk settings. More horror, more well, less horror, more steampunk, but collaboration of those genres between themselves. So I did like the story. I did like the choices I took, except the last one. The last choice can lead you to a very unsatisfying ending. Yeah. So I complained about price, right? That's what started with. But for this price, you get 50 hours. 50 hours of the first playthrough. 50 hours of the first playthrough, and yeah, 47 over here, and you get tons of replayability. builds rotate about like this kind of magic build. Not exactly magic. There's a dexterity build rotating based on dodges and quick attack weapons. Where I'm very interested in that. The game probably gonna feel quite different playing this dexterity mode. Like I say, weapons, puppet arms, your skill trees. This is presenting so much of like options to the build. And there's, don't forget about a bunch of like amulets over here. This also can be make the game feel different. Can adjust to play in different situations. You can adjust to different situations. I mean, with Zeus. Alright. And what else? What else to say? So basically, I'm rating it highly, 8 out of 10. And it's maybe not on par with Dark Souls 3 in overall feeling. Alright. Dark Souls 3 I would rate, Souls 3 I would rate maybe 9 out of 10, 8 out of 5. This is a little bit lower from that, but nonetheless it's a very good try from NeoWiz for their first game in series, and there is even some foreshadowing for DLC or second game, and I really want to I'm looking forward how to this end. Yeah, so did enjoy it. Recommend it. Thank you guys for watching me. Thank you for joining for this. Maybe at some point blabbering about the same point, but yet again I want to just share my experience, how much of like I like the game, how much my first impression of the game, how much of my first impression was wrongly, and I just need to give, if you feeling the game is treating you unwell, if you're feeling the game is clunky, just give it a try like I did. And if you're fan of the Souls game, I think you're gonna enjoy it. One more thing, I saw a lot of people like complaining about we playing this game on the PC using the gamepad. So a lot of people were complaining about impossible stuttering and sometimes even impossibility to like block enemies, parry them, because how much of game stutters here and there, drops in frames and stuff. A problem apparently in how to solve the problem, you need just limit your frame rate to 60 FPS or whatever the right FPS for you. Do not go on PC versions for unlimited FPS, so that's not good for boss fights here, for sure. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for joining me for this part of the well, stream, and also special thanks to you watching on the YouTube. Cheers guys.